Let me tell you one of the biggest secrets in government contracting. The companies that are winning contracts are not always the biggest, and they're not always the companies with the fanciest capability statements. So many of these companies, they win simply by understanding the buyers. They choose the opportunity and then they submit the right solution at the right time. So if you guys are new to my channel, hey, I'm Dr. Mel. Live your best life doing what you love. And I love contracts. All right, so that is the secret, guys. Winning government contracts is not always about chasing every opportunity that you see. Whether you're brand new to government contracting or you've submitted a few bids and you've not won anything yet, you may even be a seasoned contractor trying to grow. This video is for you. So today I'm breaking down government contracting and how you actually win and how you can stop guessing and rather start positioning yourself to pursue contracts with real strategies. So I also want to show you guys how we are using artificial intelligence, AI, to work faster and conduct better and more efficient research. Guys, it also helps you to strengthen your process. So grab a notebook, notepad, pencil, and let's get started. So we're going to go by the numbers. Let's get into it. All right, so the secret number one, stop chasing every contract. That's the problem that a lot of folks make. And when you're chasing every contract, an opportunity, you get tired, you get frustrated, and the momentum soon die. And then you say, oh, this is not working. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see contractors do is they're trying to pursue everything. They go to sam.gov, they type in a broad keyword, and then they start looking at hundreds of opportunities, and it becomes overwhelming. They are looking at janitorial contracts. They're looking at IT contracts, training, staffing. Oh my goodness, construction. They're all over. And every opportunity, guys, it starts looking like money. But guys, let me tell you this. That is not the way you do it. A solicitation may be related to your industry, but it does not automatically mean that your company is a good fit for it, because you have to decide which opportunities to pursue yourself. Do you provide exactly what the buyer is looking for? Have you performed similar work before? Can you meet the deadline? Can you perform the work at the required location? Do you understand how the government will evaluate your response? And most importantly, do you have a realistic chance of winning? New contractors, sometimes they believe the goal is to submit as many bids as possible. They think that it's a numbers game. While you do have to submit contracts in order to win, it is not simply a numbers game. But intermediate contractors may continue bidding because they have already invested time in that opportunity. Seasoned contractors also make the same mistake because they chase revenue right outside of their strongest capability lane. The goal is not to become a busy bidder, but the goal is become a strategic winner. So secret number two, you guys have to know exactly what you sell. Before you search for an opportunity, you need to ask yourself, can your company actually sell it? You need to be able to identify that and be able to answer that question in a sentence, not 5 paragraphs, not an entire resume, but in one sentence. For example, we provide commercial janitorial services for government offices and public facilities. Or we provide cyber assessments and compliance support for small and mid-sized government agencies. Or we deliver leadership and workforce development training for public sector employees. So if you cannot clearly explain what you sell to the government and make sure that they understand in one sentence, guys, that may not be your lane. They have 20 or 30 years of experience. Oftentimes, they can provide several different types of services. So those companies are going to particularly be the winner. They have managed teams, solved problems, and developed programs, and completed major projects. Those are the kind of folks that the government are looking for. The government does not necessarily buy a giant list of skills, but rather the government buys specific solutions and specific problems. All right, your experience, and I say it all the time, you don't need a job, you need a contract. Your experience, guys, need to be packaged into something that the government can purchase. If you are a consultant, what problem do you solve? If you own a construction company, what type of construction work is your strongest lane? And if you provide training, who do you train? And what are the measurable improvements does your training create? Clarity makes it easy for the government to find you and to understand you and your agency, your company, before they hire you. Your experience, it is valuable, but it becomes marketable when you know how to package it into a clear solution. Secret number 3, follow the money. Here is something that I want every contractor to understand. Do not build your government contracting strategy entirely around what you hope an agency is going to buy. You need to research, and I talk to you guys about it all the time. Research what agencies already have purchased. You can go to usaspending.gov. All right. Find out what the past spending can reveal. You want to know who bought the service. You want to know what did they buy. You want to know how much they paid. You want to know which company won. How long was that contract? And was it a one-time purchase or is it a reoccurring contract? Was the contract competed as a set-aside or was it awarded through an existing contract vehicle? This is especially important for new contractors. You may not know which agency to approach, but you may know whether the agency is buying what you provide. You may not know the keywords to use. Historic purchasing information can give you direction. So let's say you own a commercial cleaning company. All right. Instead of searching for every janitorial solicitation in the country, research which agencies buy janitorial services in your geographical area. Look at previous awards. Identify facilities. Look for the length and the value of the contract. Research the winning vendor. Then ask, when could this requirement come back in or up for competition? Are there subcontracting opportunities? Does the agency make smaller purchases that my company could perform? Guys, the answer is there. So if you find this information that I'm providing helpful, go ahead and click on the like. All right. Join me in my school community where we learn actually all of the things that you need in order to be a successful contractor. And then also I help you to avoid the pitfalls and the mistakes that many new and seasoned contractors make. I'm your girl, Dr. Mel. Live your best life doing what you love. I love contracting. Bye for now.